You are listening to the Red Monster Inc. podcast, hosted by those two numpties, the Dord of J's and the Mac of L's.
What up, everybody? I'm the DOJ.
Some Machiavells.
Welcome to the Red Monster Inc. podcast.
Special guest today.
We got Mr. Jeff Jameson, or Nubby, or how would you like to be referred to?
Man, I'm One Hand Dan.
One Hand Dan.
One Hand Dan's been the new thing, I think.
I dig that.
I don't know, man. I can always tell by what nickname people call me is like what tribe I know him from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's,
what era
Yeah.
of your life you're
if
from?
it's Nubby, it's wrestling. Usually.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's always been a wrestling thing, and like I like it when you wrestle.
Or
like,
Auto Body Days.
Auto Body Days, it,
Yeah.
you know, got around. You know, it's mostly people from those days, so I know it's from that tribe. If they call me Dan, I'm like, it's probably from music
The
or
music
something like
scene,
that.
Yeah.
If they call me by my government name, they're my grandma.
The families, the bloods.
Be mad at me. My name is Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But rednecks pronounce it Daniel,
Oh.
and people with speech impediments.
Yeah.
They're called Dano. It's weird sometimes, like, people book me for music and they'll be like, hey, Mr. One Hand. why wouldn't you call me Dan?
Yeah.
It says Dan on my name. I have a Facebook.
Yeah.
You booked me on the Facebook with my real name, man.
Well, let's talk about the music, man. You've done some traveling with the music, haven't you?
Went to France.
Went to France.
Fucking France.
Tell us about that.
France is cool. It's I never flown before. Airplanes are different.
Yeah.
They're like big buses.
They are. They
Like
are.
it feels like you're on a bus, except for like your nuts are just basically in a compactor.
Yeah.
You can't move, and the way there, like everybody on the plane, I guess we're going home to France because nobody around me spoke English, and I talk a lot when I'm nervous, and so I had nobody to talk to.
Oh, I bet that was
Nobody
hard.
I talked
How
to.
long was that flight?
Like 14 hours.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
might have been
Oh.
12. It felt like forever.
That's
and see,
a
my
long
wife
time.
went, but she went on like she got her and her best friend got tickets off like the Hopper app. And so they booked it like a year in advance, but they got the tickets for like $500 a piece. And mine's a one-way shot, but theirs would be like layover, 2 hours here, 5 hours here.
Right.
Layover one night in London. Sounds terrible. She's like, oh, we got layover for a whole like 24 hours in London. Sounds terrible.
Oh,
What will you
that
do?
would suck. You have
What
to
will
stop
you do,
in London.
you know?
Oh.
My wife, London's easy. We speak English. France, man, I think it took me a while, but I could figure out when they're referring to me as like confused American.
I imagine that's not too hard to recognize, especially in France.
Especially like my accent, like they speak English.
Dude from Alabama.
They don't speak Appalachian.
Right.
Fucking Americans.
I didn't even know I had an accent.
Well, compared.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I don't know, man. It's like you embody different things, and like when you become like One Hand Dan's a character. It's not a character like I'm acting him. It's just like the alter ego version.
Right.
It's like in wrestling. That's like the skill I learned from wrestling is like you
Having
become
that
this
different
guy.
personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all know me for years. I mean, like y'all know me. I was a punk rock kid. I was an emo kid for a while. Now I'm dressed like a farmer. Like
Got the beard rocking.
I
and
own a
everything.
truck and I have a beard.
Yeah.
Pay taxes.
Do legal stuff now.
Y'all know me. I didn't pay taxes. For
The
a
new
long time.
Nubby.
You Nubby. I like
It's
you
kind
Nubby.
of like the new Daniel Bryan, the new Nubby.
I'm responsible. I went to church.
Whoa.
Went to church today.
What?
I go to church.
What?
Jeebus?
I got morals.
Do you?
I ain't defending myself to go to church with you guys. I'm not defending myself.
Morals. I call
But
bullshit.
no, it's kind of like, it's like you become that and like, you just kind of mirror things. And that's what like, like your passion or something. Like you see something and that's what mirrors. It's like when you first watch wrestling that makes you want to like be a wrestler. You seen one thing, you saw yourself in that, like you just lived through them. I want to say vicariously. Is that the right word? Because every time I say that, I think I'm making like I'm saying it wrong, and it's like I'm saying
trying
like
to sound
I have a multiple
intelligent.
sexual attraction to things, and I don't want to make that mistake and just look like an asshole, Like, my wife's an English teacher. So my wife will know, and she's like, "Look, you just said you're vicariously in front of people," and so I'm always like, "Yeah, I know it's vicarious."
You heard it here first on Red Monster podcast.
So if you start getting dick pics, you'll know why.
I'm not vicarious, but I have no objections to anybody else who lives vicariously through other people. No, but no, like with music and stuff like that, like you know, like I always listen to everything,
Oh, my
you know,
God.
and then so I found that blues stuff, and I think I was listening to like
Spade dipped out on that one.
Spade.
Spade took a powder.
And then when you think about the when Spade dipped out, I just started laughing. 'Cause I was like,
Threw him
is it
off.
because I said vicariously? Did I offend you? My cousin's vicarious.
How dare you son of a bitch.
It's you and your
Some
Jeff
bitch.
It's you
What?
and Jeff Jameson speak.
Yeah, and see Jeff Jameson, I guess, you know, like I don't know, the only time I didn't really play a character in like wrestling, I wasn't really a character. I was just myself in front of people.
Yeah.
Which is a character in yourself.
Just saying, like,
Yeah, but it's
he's a
hard.
man. He's a man of many names. That's why I didn't really know what to call you.
I wish I had, you know.
One Hand Dan. Well, you got an album out called Self Medication. You want to plug? You want to plug that shit?
Yeah, if you find it on YouTube or like I've been bootlegged, which is so cool.
That is cool.
I actually bought the CD.
Spade, actually, you're the only person.
Wow.
No. People bought CDs, man. Like I actually went through a lot of them, and I think like over 1,000 or something CDs, which is cool because nobody buys CDs.
No,
Yeah.
But you
that's
can
pretty
pretty
hard.
get it off Spotify. I think it's on Pandora. I mean, it's on like everything. But like, I Google myself a lot because I'm insecure. So,
Insecure.
I'm just gonna
vain,
admit it. I'm just
whatever.
gonna admit it before anybody's like, "Man, he's really insecure with himself. He Googles himself all the time." No, I'm aware. I'm aware that I'm insecure, and so I Google myself.
What a
Just-
fucking narcissist.
You never know because you know sometimes you do things and you're like, "Oh, that's nobody," you know.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh shit, that's kind of a thing." Okay, cool. You know, that was they shared stuff. Maybe I just like seeing stuff of myself because I'm insecure. You know, like seeing videos of me wrestling just to remind myself. I'm like, I was good at this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's cool.
It's
And
that self-validation you need.
but music's never like that. Anytime I see me playing music, I'm like, oh man, I wasn't very good.
Well, you know,
Those people way overpaid.
Why you've been pretty successful at it, man.
Man, you know, like successful on a small, you know, like don't shoot for the top. The top's hard, but the middle's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not even.
I
I'm
can
like
get
lower
behind
middle.
that.
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
lower middle. I have lower standards than the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like with your music. What was cool is like I took wrestling to music. You took the backyard to music. You just said screw this. If they don't want to play, you know, because bars don't book you to rap. They're not going to book a rap group.
Yeah.
Because no offense, Spade, they're going to be like, there's going to be brothers all in here.
Hey, he's a rapper, not me.
Because I used to play out in front of. Well, I'm just saying, venues are scared of black people. Let's just.
Everywhere in America is
I
scared
get
of
it.
black people.
I see it, man. I used to.
It's good we have a black friend here to
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
off.
To tell me it's okay. To tell me when it's not okay. You know? No, like I used to play in front
Black
of Sammy
friend Chris.
T's. And Sammy T's has like a rule: you can't have more than like 35% black people.
Oh, wow.
So then they just start looking at black people
That is,
coming in.
yeah, I have heard that.
And they'll be like, "Man, you can't get in there. You're wearing work boots." And the dude's like, "They're Timberlands, bruh." You know,
You ain't getting in here with them shoes.
yeah. They're like, "Nah, man. Your shirt's wrong. You know, you got a gang color shirt." They just make up stuff. Just tell him you're too black. Just tell him you're not letting him in because he's black.
We
Just
got
be
enough
honest.
in here, man.
Just be honest.
You might as well just say, we have enough black people in here.
Yep.
It's like that bit from was it Knocked Out where Craig Robinson's talking about like
I'm only allowed to let in 5% black people. He said that, 5%. That means if it's 25 people here, I get to let in 1 1/4 black people. So I gotta hope it's a black midget in the crowd.
Oh shit.
But I see it.
I go to bed with my stomach hurting.
I see it. You know, it's just funny, like playing a lot of bars and stuff, and you're like, you know, like you just, it's just they don't. The music is so what they want, and what you're going to give them is not the.
Yeah.
It's not a good fit.
See, I've
Just-
only played 2 bar shows, but I guess they went pretty well given that
the
they were.
Smokehouse is known for its creativity.
Well, we played the Smokehouse and we played fucking what the hell was that place called? Fucking Somewhere Else. Used to be Side
Is that the
Pockets.
name of it? Because I think I've heard bars called somewhere else.
Yeah,
Side
well, it's Side
Pockets.
Pockets is what it used to be.
See, those places are known for bringing in. Side Pockets brings in hip hop.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
used to. But, like, the Smokehouse had a lot of bands who were not metal bands and stuff they let play there, Just,
Yeah, Smokehouse had some pretty odd ones.
It's like the Nick in Birmingham. They don't care how weird it is. Well, if you got it, you got it. Play it loud, and somebody will come. And so they're open to it. But it's not like it's the end of the world when you have somebody different play at your venue. It's if y'all would have, I came to the show at the Smokehouse. If y'all would have done that and On the Rocks, you probably would have had it better because there'd been more people, but they'd been into it the same way.
Right.
And then people are like, no, they'll hear hip hop and just leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, not really. You don't have to keep playing Hootie and the Blowfish covers
Yeah.
on the acoustic. If I hear one more goddamn cajon, man, like, I hate them so much, man. I hate cajones. I hate harmonicas. It's like.
Didn't you play a harmonica once?
I'm good at it. I'm a really good harmonica player. I just hate them. Because there's always that guy. And it's like, you don't really...
I just need to go wherever the fuck you're hanging out
Yeah,
at to hear
yeah.
these random harmonica peoples.
Yeah, we
Crap,
don't
dude.
see. We don't have that
Go
problem
to a
around
blues
here.
festival. Go to a Cigar Box Guitar Festival. It's even worse.
Where do they have those at?
All the time.
They don't
Every
have those
spot
shits
down.
around here.
I'm kind of known, like the Cigar Box Guitar people, that's a whole different community.
Yeah.
And they're cool people. It's a tribe. It's just a tribe. That's the world we live in. I think that's a good term for people. That's a tribe.
Yeah.
People, that's what they share. That's their passion. It's their hobby. It's not their life. It's their hobby. And
Feel
then
that, I
like
feel
everybody, but it makes you good at your hobby, or or if you want to take it more than a hobby, like you're trying to break out with something completely different. The tribe are who support you.
Right.
You got to have the tribe support. The Cigar Box Guitar people supported me big time, and I just got a Cigar Box guitar because I thought it was cool, and then I figured like with my nub and the way it's played, I'm like, oh, I can really get on this thing, and I just started getting weird with it. And, I don't even think it was really good. Now I understand music a lot better than I did, but I think I was a lot more popular with it when I was just playing bad. But I didn't care. I was just going at it. Those people supported me. They click, share. They're like, hey, you see this kid? This kid has one hand and he's playing the Cigar Box guitar. And they're like, well, this kid just. And then you have the trolls of the tribes. Because everybody's got an opinion, but the trolls, you just can't let them hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, do you even know how to play guitar? That's like their comment on my.
Right.
And so I always I'm not going for the top or the middle, really. So I can say whatever I want to. And I'm like, does your mother know how to play guitar? and then if they reply, they'll be like, no, dude, you're just really not good. I was like,
That's
well,
a Funyun Bob approved one.
yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like your mother. Yeah, and that's something we learned as teenagers. If you just say your mother, they instantly get that you don't give a
people
shit.
get pissed.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
My mom and dad.
Your
It was a
mother.
figure of speech, bruh. It was a figure of speech of me saying, I don't give a damn.
Trigger button.
Well, her corpse was sucking my dick last night.
Sometimes I used to.
See, that's where it goes over the line.
That's the part.
The worst part about being a musician.
They won't fuck with you
booking
after
a
you
gig.
say
Yeah,
some shit
after
like
that.
that.
Have you ever tried to book other gigs other than those? Like you're calling venues trying to get in?
We had a manager, so
He was the one who's doing all that.
Yeah, managers.
He was trying to get them overseas. He
yeah.
was trying to get
Yeah.
them in Europe
Managers are
doing
good if you
stuff.
get one.
He was-
Mine, I had a manager one time. He just gave me advice a lot. And I was like, look, man, I'll give you percentage on gigs if you book me a gig. Never booked me a gig. He started me an Instagram. He never got
Wow.
me a gig. And then he got mad at me and closed down my Instagram.
Wow.
Some bitch.
Petty motherfucker.
Yeah, and I
I
was
think
like,
your Instagram's actually still going.
is it still going?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new Instagram because I got mad. I'm like, I can do Instagram by
I was
the
about
damn
to
self.
say, man. Damn.
I'm like, there's 12-year-olds doing like 8 different things I don't know how to on myself. I figured I can Snapchat now.
Oh shit.
That's mostly me pooping.
Oh, that's awesome.
Are you a fan of the poop selfie?
Well, I just like my friends that kind of get on my nerves, or they're like, I don't hear
Ah.
from somebody in a while. And I'm like,
Check out this one,
Yeah.
dude.
I say I go to. I
You
send-
just send them like straight up butthole pictures.
Yeah, and we send each other cable stuff. Like if you see something like a cable inside joke to us, and so like we send cable inside jokes together through Instagram, and then somebody will do something stupid like take a picture of them like as a selfie holding a dog or something like that, and then we brutally make fun of you.
Right.
So what do? Take more pictures of selfies with dogs,
Yeah.
like so if I take a picture of my poop and everybody gets mad, I just keep taking pictures of poop. It seems logical. I'm so glad Snapchat wasn't around when I was a teenager.
Oh, my
my
god.
God.
It would have been
This
shut down for
world-
dick capacity. Like the
Yeah,
cloud
this-
would have went down. for
This
too many dicks.
society our society wouldn't have been able to
So
handle
Because
it.
many
we started Snapchat with camera phones. You remember when camera phones
yeah.
first came out and you had like the real crappy, real small image? Well, anytime your buddy left the camera phone down, you flip it over, take a picture, and you set it as this wallpaper.
Right.
Or, if you're even better, you set it as the wallpaper for his wife or girlfriend. And so when his wife or girlfriend calls, there's your dick.
Yep.
In like a tiny pixelated screen, you know?
Fantastic.
We invented Snapchat. But some people probably never deleted those. You know, they're like, they didn't know how. You know, it's kind of hard to delete photos. It's only
And if it was a
it's
no
only
dog
gonna-
phone,
Yeah, I
it's
was about
still
to say.
there.
So there's so many dicks out there.
There's so
floating
many
around,
dicks. There's so many dicks.
floating around in the ether.
So the dark web should have the dick web.
Yeah.
That's just for all the dicks.
Well,
we gotta
I mean,
create
yeah,
a whole
I was
new
about to
internet
say,
just to
yeah.
store dicks.
Seems like that's what a lot of the
I
dark
was
web
about to
is.
say.
a
I
bunch
mean,
of
you know,
dicks.
there's a lot of dicks
What I
out
was
there.
saying about booking a gig though, like you have to like email 1,000 people.
Yeah.
These are like college kids and worthless, lazy
Yeah.
college kids.
Well, I
who book
remember.
these
I remember
things.
something about when we were doing gigs. Was details would change every day.
Every day. You're double booked. They
Or
forgot-
this
You're
is
supposed to go on at this time, but
Or,
it's
yeah.
actually going to be this time now because this person jumped on. Oh, wait, they're not going to make it now, so
Right.
we got to bump it back. God damn it.
yeah.
I like being connected to people without, you know, I joined a lot of tribes in my day.
Yeah.
I'm like the Kevin Costner and Dances with Wolves. I just, you know, I adapt, you know. Sometimes you
I
guys,
love that visual.
yeah, great movie too. Great movie, man. It always gets me. But some of those places, I started like getting so irritated them not writing me back. So I started like describing myself like I'm Harry Potter, and I was like describing like my life as Harry Potter. I'm talking about Hogwarts. I'm talking about spells, and I'm talking about my band members with like Harry Potter names, and I was pretending like that. And sometimes they'll write you back then, just like I gotta get to know about this guy.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is this?
And then, like, and one time it got me booked somewhere, and the guy was like, all right, yeah, we can use you on Friday night, gave me the day, and I'm like, all right, thanks, Muggle. And just, and, you know, and it's just, and I got back like a happy face. Some guy who's been in love with Harry Potter since he was a kid, it warmed his heart, and he actually read the email. But you wouldn't read the email of me just saying, hey, and I get to the point, I'm like, I'm not trying to write me up like I sound just like whatever, because they're just going to be disappointed, because I don't even know what the hell it sounds like. You know, music doesn't have to be good. It just gotta have a rhythm, you know. Like that's the thing about
Music
music.
doesn't have to be good.
It doesn't have to be good. The best music is not that good. It doesn't have to. You know, that's the problem with music today. They're trying to like. People are like they're learning. You know, guitar centers.
The most popular music is not that good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best music is
like
raw and unfiltered.
I'd say
And
there is good
ICP
music
was
out there.
good. Come on, man.
Well,
No,
no,
no.
But you loved him anyway because it was your
Yeah.
music. It was your music. You're part of that.
I mean,
tribe.
it was what it was for the time.
So like the one hand Dan music, it's like I got into like the hill country. Like I was playing like blues and stuff, and I got into it. Then I realized I was a complete yuppie, and how like I'm watching all these videos of these weird nerdy old dudes who are like pretending to be Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson, and they're doing that whole thing. And I'm like, holy crap, that's what I'm doing. Crap, you know. I don't want to look like that guy, you know? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Singing like a white dude, doing white dude stuff, you know? Like, but literally copying somebody's way of doing things.
Right.
yeah.
And then I, like, started hearing the hill country stuff of, like, R.L. Burnside and Junior Kimbrough. And they're just nobody, really, except to their tribe. They're
Right.
kings.
Yeah.
And really, you know, because where they were, like, it really kind of... They had a big role in music altogether. Like Fat Possum Records in the early 2000s and in the 90s were promoting that kind of music. And you heard the music movies, you know, like Black Snake Moan and stuff like that. A lot of that
Yeah.
was the Hill Country Blues, R.L. Burnside stuff. And so it was a big part of society that nobody really, you know.
Paid attention to.
But
or
the
get
people who
credit for.
really get into it, man, people come from all over the world to come to a festival where there might be 28 people actually come just to watch one guy play. And then they get there and then they study these people, all the musicians that play. It's not hard to get booked on those gigs. I don't think I'm good at what I do, but I'm not near as good as those guys.
Right.
Those guys are way better because I listen to. I'm a mark for them.
Yeah.
In trying to keep up with them with their music and stuff, and I was like, man, I just felt like I'm doing their music, but not as good.
Right.
But I'm doing their music my way.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be your interpretation of what you enjoy. I mean, that to me makes the best music.
But they're
when you try
open
and
to
copy shit, it it just sounds like the same shit done over and over and over again. I want new stuff. I want something a little different, something with a flair that we haven't heard before. And when you do that, that's what makes you an individual and an artist to compare it to.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find myself with that, because like when you start singing the lyrics, I'm singing basically their lyrics, but their lyrics is based off what they grew up with in North Mississippi, living near Oxford. They have a different accent there. A lot of the guys out there all talk like Morgan Freeman. It's awesome. It really
that's
is
where
awesome.
he's from.
Yeah, and they have that draw. It's different, and they're just different people out there. It's just because they were not like they were isolated from the world. They're just really country. Just really, really country. The Walmart's like in Oxford, and you're living in Holly Springs. That's all right. You got it's local, and you're more into and so they got popular from the juke joints because that was the big thing. And some people like fantasize these juke joints like it was just big, awesome thing. It was just a place where people can get together and party for cheap.
Yeah.
You can bring your own beer.
Hell yeah.
Because it was like the BYOB thing.
Right.
You pay a cover at the door. You're hanging out. You're socializing. Music's playing, and the music just fit that night. So a lot of the music they were playing was just jamming, because a lot of them weren't really that good of musicians. They weren't good enough to go on the tour as a band.
Right.
A lot of them they played when they got home from work. A lot of them just partied. Some guys just knew how to drum but never had a drum set. And here at the party, there's a rickety old drum set. It's got holes all in it. They're just jamming. He's got an easy rhythm going. It's like staying in the pocket.
Yeah.
And then you get really creative. As long as you can create it's just like jam music with the hippies without all the weird stuff,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
That's some of the best music, though.
I've never done enough drugs to like Widespread Panic or Fish or any of that. Like, I hate the Grateful Dead. Like, and everybody's like, I like the people from the Grateful Dead and the music they did individually.
Hey, you get some good dope at them Widespread Panic
That's
shows.
what they're for. If you're on the right kind of drugs and you're at these music festivals, you're like, yeah, man. You get it. Yeah, man. That's the thing. Bruh. So you're, oh God, the hippies, and and I don't try to impress the hippies because it's easier, like to get their support.
Right.
The hippies are just like, bruh, like what you do.
totally good vibes. Good vibes, man. Yeah.
But they're not gonna buy your stuff because they're hippies.
No, because they're fucking poor.
They're not gonna buy it. If I see a hippie, I just give him the CD. But he don't have a CD player.
No.
I just mention it. He'll download.
That'd
me
be sounding
later.
like Eric Cartman over here.
I'm cool with the hippies.
I would never kiss somebody unless they were hippies.
The hippies, I don't, the hippies do their thing. That's the thing about hippies. Hippies do their thing, and it's just a tribe. It's just a tribe. And they got their own little rules and their own little culture and the way they dress. They just listen to crappy music. But I'm, like, musically, I speak out. I don't pretend to like things I don't like. I don't like the Beatles. If I say that in front of musicians, like, bruh, I don't like them. I don't think their music is that good to me.
I don't like Black Sabbath.
Like, I thought they were cool when I was 9. I'm like, yeah, this is dark. And then I'm like, it's not right.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand cocaine at 9. I didn't understand I wasn't part of their tribe. And that's why, it was made for that tribe. I wasn't part of that tribe. Just like the ICP and the acid rap and stuff like that, we all could kind of relate to it. A lot of it really wasn't that good.
Yeah, especially in retrospect.
No, not in retrospect.
Go back and listen to it now. It's like, what the fuck was I thinking?
But it spoke to us, and some of those
in its own way, yeah.
Remember the weird rock bands like him and CKY?
Yeah, I still listen to him
I
and
still
CKY.
love CKY.
I liked it,
Fucking still love that.
There's fucking CKY and him pictures on the wall right here.
It was different, though. You're just part of that tribe. Only thing I didn't like about him was, like, you found out everybody's romantic side. Some dudes should just keep that to themselves.
Well, I mean, I don't
Save
know.
it for your girl.
Like I said, it always reminded me of, like,
It reminded me of the era.
Well,
like we all dumped at the same time and him came out. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was. But it was like,
for me.
I always contributed him being Finland's version of The Cure.
Yeah.
God, I hate The Cure.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I like Modest Mouse because I like the Pixies. I think it's cool. Modest Mouse to me is just a different version of the Pixies, and I like it. I like,
I can't say because I've never really listened to them.
Yeah.
But I could give 2 craps about the Rolling Stones.
Me too.
care
5 too. But they're just part of the growth of music.
And it's like
You
Bob
had to
Dylan.
have them in order to have what we have today. Some of the shit shouldn't have been around because of some of the shit that's out today just needs to fucking not exist. But I mean, you get what you got.
One thing that gets me the most is how the 1980s, like, what was it, the new wave?
New
It's
wave
so
pop shit.
Yeah, but it's more popular today with, like,
Yeah, it's definitely
younger
come back.
generation country kids.
Yeah, so weird.
Play any 30 seconds of any 1980s power ballad, and you play it in front of some kids hanging out by Walmart and pickup trucks, they'll all start singing along. If it's Journey, if it's... They know it, you know, and it's the cheesiest of the cheesiest stuff.
Spade's in the corner like, man, this is some white boy shit.
Well, no, you listened to it. You were on dates when you were listening to it, Spade. Papa Spade, well, you know.
That's what it says. Spade, you give a shit about Journey.
I saw your pictures. You had a tight roll. You had the kid and play haircut.
Kid and play, motherfucker, not Journey.
Same time, they were all y'all. Everybody, music was music. You had MTV. You had the radio. Y'all were
That's
hearing
back when you
everything.
had like music videos on TV.
See, that's what's wrong with the world today. There's no more music videos, and that's how you found your tribe.
Yeah.
You're like,
But it's all YouTube shit now.
Yeah,
the internet has killed
Internet's
MTV.
killed
and-
everything.
Yeah.
For TV.
We're on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
oh, I got a YouTube thing too, man. There's a lot of one-hand Dan videos on YouTube.
I got
Yeah, there
YouTube
are.
channels,
Some
too.
are good, some aren't. Some are I'm like, oh god, I wish that was a bad day. Like that
I
was
was
just
at
like
a party the other day showing people your shit. I was like, check out my buddy. Like, check this shit out. He made that fucking guitar right there. Like, check it out, dude. Yeah, it's
oh
pretty
man,
awesome.
it's cool. You know, like
You are a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
nah, man. It's just you just gotta go where creativity takes you, because life is short.
Well,
That is very true.
and all the time I've known you, you've always been
Into
a unique
something.
individual.
This is true.
I mean,
And always into something different, too.
Yeah.
This is true.
that's part of the ADD. That's
Like,
That's true too.
like making
but
making the
so
wrestling
few-
gear
I was about to
and,
say, like,
and-
so-
and doing the auto body and the painting
Yeah.
and,
oh
and
man,
the
no,
body
I mean,
work.
it's
and-
one of those things like having one hand is weird because like you can't half-ass anything. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I've never
but-
seen you hindered by it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
'cause
that's
you
never
can't-
been your handicap. You
Yeah.
like everybody's amazed that you do what you do with one hand.
Well, how much better you are at most people at doing what
Well,
you
you
do.
have to be. So that's the thing. If you can't, you have to be better than somebody, or it's just not worth it in anything. To me, it's like if you halfway do something, but if you piss somebody off in the process,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of times I just want to just do this, and then you get into it, and then then eventually become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And that's something like I didn't realize I've always done my whole life. And I think it's like when I was a kid I didn't fit in with people, so I developed like a defense mechanism where I could kind of imitate by mirroring them a little bit and figuring out how their society and how their tribe worked,
Yeah.
and I would mirror them and get through that. And then I could imitate that and fit in. And sometimes I just quit caring. Like sometimes I'm like, I just won't fit in with
I
anybody.
was about to
for a
say,
while.
eventually you just have to.
And you know, and I guess like I'm good at figuring how the because if you just say I want to be a guitar player, you're going to become a guitar player. Yeah, you can learn the Oasis songs. You can learn it. I mean, it doesn't take long. You learn 1 or 2 songs. You break out a party. You fucking hates me. You know, and it's cool. You know, you can play the hits, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you take the hits,
Watch Carcass Lane.
if you take your hits to the next level, but that song's not dorky then because it was a hit then. You know.
Yeah.
It was like a pre-hit. It just came out. You had to have the CD to know about it. They weren't even playing on the radio yet. But when you have like, you got to figure out the culture, the part behind it. Like when I was playing blues and stuff, when I first got into it, I started playing on the streets, and nobody really figured that out. Everyone was like, "What?" I got made fun of. It's humiliating. You see dudes you went to high school with, or they're trying to give you money because they think you're poor.
Wow.
And it's like, no, like I have to do this to learn the way they did this. I have to feel, but you feel it though. You know, like you kind of your music starts getting better when you start feeling some of their struggles.
Yeah.
I felt the poor part. Yeah, when I first got married, I was crazy poor. I was crazy poor before that. It's like, you know, my mom, dad could help. You know, my parents, you know, they could have helped. But you know, I'm a grown man. You know, when you're in your early 20s, like you should be doing most of it yourself. If you got to starve a little while, you know, starve for a little while. It's when I've been in white trash casserole. Did you have it?
I don't know.
Never make it for you?
Mm-mm.
Skippy, I used to have to cook it for Skippy all the time. White trash casserole is scrambled eggs and potted meat.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I'll pass.
With no cheese?
Yeah. You put cheese in it.
Oh, okay.
Still
But not when you
gross.
scramble it.
Still
Not when you
fucking
scramble it.
gross.
You take it, then you put it in a bowl, and you put in mayonnaise,
Ugh.
cheese, and Ritz crackers, and you mix it up.
Jesus,
Stick it back in
man.
the oven. And this white
I mean,
trash
that
does
just
it.
straight
I
up.
could totally do this.
That just straight up sounds like the recipe for fucking vomit to me.
I would-
Like-
It's so good. It's
I
really
would
good.
totally eat that shit.
If you like scrambled
I'm
eggs,
like,
you'll
dog,
like
I'm
it.
passing
I would
out.
fucking eat it.
It's really good. It really is good, but it's a lot of calories, and it's like one serving's like 14 grams of protein because you're just eating eggs and
And meat and
meat
cheese.
from stuff. You get the right amount of, you know, it
Fuck off.
fills
Because
you
that's what
up.
mayonnaise is fucking
And you
more
can
eggs.
feed a whole house of people when everybody in the middle of the night's like, I'm hungry, and like only one kid has money, you know, but he's not sharing with the other dirty kids.
That's
And
when,
it's,
that's
I mean,
when
I
you're
get
10
it.
o'clock in the morning, Waffle House high hungry.
Yeah.
but you gotta
I
have
get,
money.
I get desperation. You know what I mean?
Also,
know-
if you've been drinking and I was a very responsible like alcoholic 1 year, like.
I'm
One
glad he
year.
said 1
One
year.
year.
It was about a year. It was
Just
only about a
one.
year. It was
Just
about a
1
year.
year.
It was
Just
about a
1 year.
year. The other times were,
Special
Nice.
occasions.
Yeah.
I
You
had
know,
you-
like Fridays.
well, for a while, I just
It's like
stayed-
every other day.
Or Tuesdays.
Yeah.
You don't realize you're drinking too much when
Tequila
you're like
Tuesdays.
one night you tell yourself you're like, all right, man, it's like I'm going to work. I'm not drinking tonight. I still feel like crap from the 2 nights before. I'm not drinking tonight, and then you're drinking. And
Yep.
you're like, oh yeah, I'm just not happy with life right now, and that's why I'm drinking because
Yeah.
my life is boring at the moment. Because, and that's the only reason you start drinking. It's fun to drink occasionally, and some people drink. People who drink every single day makes me worried what they're holding in. You know
Yeah.
what pain are they trying to numb? I'd like this. That's a rocket that's about to explode. You know,
Yeah,
like
shit.
they're having to drink every day to get through their day. That's what they do in movies, man. You know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. You know, I drink caffeine every day.
That's what you
because
do when you're Wolverine, man.
Yeah, you know.
It's the end of the
Yeah.
world.
There's some pain behind the eyes when you're drinking whiskey for dinner, lunch, and breakfast. You know, and,
Fuck that. Can't do it.
but you know, I drink all. I didn't drink when I went to work, but I was hungover when I went to work.
Yeah.
But I was responsible. I got my job done. I did everything I was supposed to. Came home, got drunk,
Yeah.
and then. But I would never leave the house. One time we got cold, and my heat went out in my apartment, but I had one of those fire pits. So me and my buddy sat outside in like 20 degrees and burned a rocking chair. We found a couch on the side.
We were
of the
just
road.
fucking picking up shit.
Yeah, you know.
Dumpster diving for burn material.
We could have went to our mama's houses, but hey, we're grown
Hey,
men.
fuck that.
We're
No.
grown men.
You-
We're gonna.
You stick it out and you handle it yourself. That's
Yeah,
what you do.
I'm
And
a
plus,
punk.
that
I
makes
don't
that
like
makes
cold.
fucking
We got
Spade's like, fuck that. I'm
Yeah,
going to
see,
my
fucking
mom's house.
memories and good stories for
loves
later.
Joke's on us that rocking chair had like a
Asbestos in
lacquer.
it?
It had like a lacquer finish, so we all got real nauseous. So it was joke on us.
Sick burn, bro.
And we roasted winnies on it.
Oh, did you not get sick?
Well, we
from
had-
the
Yeah, I
lacquer
was about to
fucking-
say, yeah.
Oh no!
God,
We figured out
that's
the
it.
lacquer from the get go. The winnies came from that clean wood that we got off that broken couch on the side of the road.
Okay. Well,
I didn't like the
Yeah,
rocking chair. It
okay.
belonged to like a girl I dated, and she just left it, and it just didn't really tie the room together. You know, it was more of an
it was
inconvenience.
fucking up his feng shui.
Like the hallway, the
So it had
legs
to
would
go.
stick out from the hallway. I always hit my toe on it. Time for the rocking chair to go anyway.
Fuck you, you son of a bitch.
I repurposed it
There you go.
for heat.
Yeah,
You
damn
warmed
that.
me.
I'd have went on to my mom's house because, like I said earlier, my mom loves me.
Mom, your parents' house is nice.
Yeah,
It was nice. I always got fed. Always got fed.
yeah.
You were the other son.
Mama Spade ain't gonna let you go hungry.
Oh no,
She gonna take care of
I
you.
don't think she let anybody go home.
Mama Spade is the best. She's awesome. Shout out to Mama Spade.
Word.
My mom's sweet, but she wouldn't have cooked for you. She would have been like, she would have
Yeah,
handed us like
yeah.
a 20 and be like, go get you something.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's true.
I'm not cooking for all you kids. My mom's a nurse. She works all the time.
I'm,
She'd be
Yeah.
like,
I'm tired.
"Here's
I'm
20."
go. I'm fucking going to bed.
But
Go
my
get
mom
some
would be
pizza.
like, if there's a house full of people, she'd be like, here, take $50, go to KFC. My mom's
Yeah,
nickname was
yeah.
Crystals. Go get a whole bunch of crystals.
Yeah.
Crystals feed everybody.
Fuck yeah.
What's your next question on your piece
Well,
of
I would
paper?
be remiss if we didn't get into some wrestling stories.
I am wrestling again.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know
shit.
that.
Once a week, because it's like down the street from the house. And they're good people. They're the EWA.
Okay.
In
What does that
Elmont.
stand for?
Elkmont Wrestling Association.
Okay.
I have to think. See, I'm the worst person to have on your team as far as
It's promotion.
yeah. I don't pay attention to that. And they're like, "Who's the other wrestler?"
God damn it, Nobby! Don't you watch the product?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know the wrestling names really. Or I might know them by a nickname that I called them. That's definitely not their nickname. They're probably like, "I wish this guy quit calling me this nickname."
Yeah, because I went through that when I first met you. Everything was 50 Cent. I'm like,
50 Cent.
Here's the one that called you 50
No,
Cent.
you called
No,
me.
he's the one that came up with it.
I don't recall
He came
that.
up with it. He goes, "Hey,
I don't
remember you
recall
saying it
that.
hey,
first,
you think
and
that
I'm like-
dude looks like 50 Cent? Like a good? No, you said a good-looking 50 Cent. That was a
I'm like, I
compliment."
couldn't stand you for the longest. I'm like, I'm surprised with friends now because I want to whoop his ass every time he calls me 50 Cent.
I think everybody had some kind of fucked up nickname when we first broke in, though.
Yeah, and see, Zach was the one that weirded me out the most. We all had, like, for real, like, we all kind of came from a common ground. We were yardies.
Yeah.
Spade wanted to be a wrestler opened up. We had a few other of the people that we knew from the TWA. Poor little Blaine Evans poor little Willie the Pooh. He just had to hang around and be everybody's lackey before they finally let him wrestle.
Yeah, that's true.
And he always got a bad rep, but he good people.
He
He got
really is.
a good heart.
Hey, he was good.
He's good.
Last time I saw him, he was good.
If you can't wrestle me or Blaine Evans and not look great,
You suck.
Yeah, I would.
you're not very good at it. And
Agreed.
me and him wrestled each other one time, and it wasn't great. We were just keep trying to because I just make the other guy look good, and he just makes the other guy look good. And nobody was looking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is man, like I'm beating him up, but I don't know what to do because I don't beat people up. You know.
Yeah, I never got to work with Will, actually. Like,
Always on the team with
yeah.
them. I tried to get him to wrestle his Boogie Shoes, Blaine Evans.
Wow.
And he tried it one night, and it was wonderful. And he's like, "I'm not doing that again."
Oh.
He was dancing. He came out to that Casey in the Sunshine. My Boogie Shoes. And, dude, he was rocking it, and it was good. I helped give everybody the game.
Dude, if anybody has footage of that, I want it.
Dude, it was
Gargus Lane 2. I want it.
It was NGW in the one of the bars. I can't remember.
Was it the Elks Lodge?
It wasn't Elks Lodge, but another bar bought it.
Okay.
And they were there for a while, and I think that guy bought it from me. I don't know how can he sell in GW. What are you actually buying? Are you buying that ring? That $200 ring?
I have no idea.
The replica belts? I mean, what are you buying? Did I come with it? Because I'm an icon in GW. I'm like,
Like, all right, here's the deal. You get these title belts, you get this ring, and you get Nubby.
But he's on a Legends contract.
Yeah, so
You just gotta call
it's a
him.
Brock Lesnar type schedule.
You gotta call and guilt trip. You gotta get somebody who wanted to wrestle again, guilt trip his ass back into coming.
Well, hey, if Nubby didn't get paid, he would just straight up steal your fucking PA system
I've done it. I stole
and
titles.
just walk the fuck out
Eye
with
for
it.
an eye.
Be like, well, hey, have fun doing your show without a fucking microphone.
Yo, I remember that time.
Give me my $12.50 and I give it back.
Yeah.
You held up his title because he wouldn't pay me. That was the greatest thing.
Wow.
Which guy was that?
Anthony Wilbanks.
Oh yeah. That too.
Like I had literally went out of my way.
What title was it?
The innovative
There was
title.
like
The innovative
15
title.
man.
Which
Wow.
went through like 30 different names.
I was
but
about to say their version of the X Division
It
title.
was an old school ECW TV title.
Okay.
I loved that belt.
It was a cool belt.
It
Yeah.
was a cool belt. So one night, he paid me up front for half of it, and I said, just pay me for half and then give me the other half. Well, he didn't want to give me the other half. He just kept on like hee-hawing and bullshitting me around, and finally, I just leave. I'm like, I'm pissed off. I'm going home. I had a bad day, bad match, bad night. So Daniel calls me like, "Hey man, I got your belt." And I said, "What?"
I didn't get paid either. Hell yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, man, I got your belt." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because I wasn't holding tight at the time. He's like, No, the ECW belt. I'm like, "You have it?" Like, "Yeah, you want it?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "He didn't pay you for it, did he?" I said, "Nah. Fuck it, it's yours." So he's literally coming back to bring me my belt.
He was doing a
And
new
Anthony
school
called me.
repo man gimmick.
Anthony comes like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "You didn't pay me,
I was
dude."
about to say, I'm holding your
I was
fucking
like,
title
"I'm
for
getting-"
ransom.
I said,
That's what I'm doing.
Until you pay me in full, it's still my belt. I bought that belt. Well, Nubby has it, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. He's bringing it back.
So my team, I got nothing. What I always love is like whenever like people try to turn us against each other.
Oh,
You know,
man.
I'm like, dude, we talk. Like we can just call each
That's
other.
it.
You know, like, no, it's us against you.
Click.
You know,
So
Click for life.
you want a friend, I'll be the promoter.
So finally, Daniel calls me back. He like beeps in. He's like, all right, man, what you want to do? I said, well, he's on the other line. He said, just hold on a minute. So I clicked back over. I said, look, you either give me my money or give me my belt. I don't care which one, but you're going to give me one of them. Fine, then I'll give you the money. How much I owe you? $150 because he already paid me $100.
Yeah.
So deal was $200. So I said, no, $150.
Yeah.
So Daniel brings
I'm
me
adding $50 because you were a dick.
Yeah. So he brings me the 150. He's like, well, let him have the belt. And they're like, it's his now.
Yeah.
I got my money for it. But it was so funny because I thought of like, first thing, yeah, man, I got your belt. And I'm like, what the
See,
what?
before CM Punk was putting belts in his refrigerator, Nubby was fucking holding titles hostage.
I was
taking
them in
people's
my Chevy Aveo.
yeah,
You ain't
taking
getting it,
people's
bro.
fucking PA systems. You're not getting music tonight.
The best
Fuck
one was
you.
at like there was like a flea market thing they did wrestling, and then they gave us the speech before we all wrestle. All right, I'm gonna let everybody know there ain't enough money at the door to pay anybody.
Oh, my God.
6 people showed up. All right, so we're gonna hold this show. We're gonna give them the best show we got, man. If you ain't getting paid, you just go ahead and go. I'm like, well, I did drive 4 hours. Piece of crap, you know. But I started looking around. There's all these like portable CD players, and so I loaded up. But you know, jokes on me because like out of 6, 1 worked.
Yeah,
One
I was
caught
about
on
to say
fire.
they were flea market.
Yeah,
They were
one
flea
actually-
market gimmicks, man.
One caught on fire. I remember my girlfriend at the time was like listening to a CD, and she's
Wow.
like listening to it and just caught on fire.
Holy shit.
How the fuck does that happen?
It runs off like 2
I was
AA
about to
batteries.
say,
Where did it
it's
get the
fucking-
voltage?
yeah.
Where did it get the voltage?
The
Catch on
laser
fire.
got too hot.
I got laser. I got a box of laser pointers. I got
Oh
a
man,
bunch
this shit's just held together with bubble gum and tape, man.
And it was Billy Ray Hickerson caught me stealing the stuff,
Oh, wow.
and he looked at me and he looked at the floor and saw like a TV mount for a van, and he picked it up. Now you know.
great.
I only worked with Billy Ray Hickerson one time, but I don't know what it was about that dude. But I love that guy.
That dude is great.
He's a
man.
great guy and a very like underrated worker. Like he
Yeah.
was actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
Him and his tag partner ripped me off on some tights one time,
Ah.
and I was calling him out, and I was like, "Come on, man, can't do that." And Billy Ray found out I was calling, looking for him, and I mean, what? Would there have been a showdown for it? They're bigger and meaner than me, so I would have stabbed one in the leg. Not Billy Ray, though. See, not really Billy Ray. Billy Ray's the one that... Billy Ray's the only one I had contact with. Billy Ray brought me half of their money up front. I don't have a problem with anybody that brings me the money up front.
Right,
you know?
right.
But they owed me it was like $200. They owed me $200 more. I had to make them like an assassin's costume.
I gotcha.
And it was, I can't remember the guy's Fish, whatever his first name is.
I
They were,
remember you talking
they were doing
about.
Fire and Flame.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk some shit. And if we don't ever have a showdown and we don't ever exchange the money or whatever, you can at least put up with me talking a little shit. You ripped me off.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I had all this money. No, I'm sewing for my rent because I lose all my money trying to be a professional wrestler. I just did everything they told me to do, and I'm still poor. They're like, you just got to struggle for a while, then it pays off. It didn't pay off for me. I didn't hit the lotto on that one.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute. You made gear for a while. Like, didn't you make gear for some WWE guys?
I'm trying to remember. I didn't know they were WWE guys, or they eventually became WWE
Yeah.
guys. Who was the Brian Cage? I made gear for.
Yeah, I do remember that.
We're
Didn't
cool.
you
I
make
still
him?
talk to him once in a
Didn't
while.
you make him a Wolverine
Yeah,
costume?
yeah. He was like he weighed like 145 pounds then.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like it was when he went to developmental and deep set. He got trained by Canyon wherever they lived, and then he in California or somewhere. And then he went to Deep South, but he wanted he really loved the Wolverine, so he cut the sideburns, but he wasn't like Wolverine jacked yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Then-
oh my God, he's fucking.
Yeah,
humongous
I
now.
saw him on Lucha Underground. I was like, holy crap! I saw the name. I'm like, they can't be
Dude,
the guy's name.
he's like killing it in TNA right now.
Dude, he's really good because he
is really good.
He was a good wrestler before he got jacked, and so now he's just a jacked up version of a good wrestler. And man, and I don't know why he, why he's not being more successful than that.
Yeah.
He should be the guy they talk about.
Hey,
He's
I
really,
mean,
really good.
He's definitely getting there, man.
And there's nothing he can't do. 15 years ago they would have been flipping over that guy. Now they're like, oh, everybody looks like those guys now. But
Yeah, but
jeez.
dude, he could fucking move.
He
man.
can do springboards and nice guy though. He called shooters on a radio show on Fox News
I
Sports.
saw Shooter at the Wall of Mart the other day.
Just a broken down old bodybuilder.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I,
he still
I
looks
noticed.
like a bodybuilder.
Well, I
but
noticed the Misfits tattoo.
Yeah,
like there
yeah.
it is. There.
if he
That's
takes
nice.
off running, like he looks like he's in awesome shape. But 3 steps in, he's pulling something. You know, like
He's the Kevin Nash of our generation.
yeah, and but to stay on his lifestyle for as long as he has been on it is unreal.
Yeah.
Like if I want to get a hold of him right now, I know exactly when he's going to get off work, how long it takes him to get to his car, when he gets cell phone signal because he works at Wise. So when he gets around and he gets in his car, I know when he gets cell phone signal, I know the first person he's going to call his kids or call. He's got to make his checks in, and then he'll answer the phone. So if I call him any time before that, I know he's not going to answer the phone, text or anything. But then at 11:22, he's going to call me, or I call him, and it's like clockwork, and it's clockwork 10 years ago, clockwork today. He doesn't miss a beat. The diets and stuff like that, the only time he cheats is after he does the competition. That night you get to just purge. Yeah. He purges. He's like Haagen-Dazs, chocolate syrup covered in Reese Cup Mountain. Like he goes to town. Extremely large pizza, like the diabetic dream,
Yeah.
And so like he goes crazy for stuff like that. Then like whenever 2 days later he's back on chicken breast, and I think that's it. He just eats just
Chicken
meats.
breast and green beans.
He might get green beans. I think green beans are too fattening for him. Like he is strong on it, man. And I was like, people like that scare me. Like that's a routine, dude.
That's some dedication.
I'm trying to think of, like what the funniest thing about wrestling is like when people are like, I've wrestled a few famous people.
Yeah.
And the only
I
one-
wanted to talk about that. I actually had that on my notes.
And the only one anybody like freaks out about is Ricochet.
You wrestled Ricochet?
I didn't even know he was Ricochet.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's
It was
probably
Trevor.
true. I was about to say.
It was a little homeless looking Trevor.
Well, I didn't realize he's from Kentucky.
Yeah, he used to come down and see, I thought he was Chuck Taylor for the longest. And
Chucky T.
well, because they used to come down together, and I never really talked to Chuck Taylor. I didn't really know the guy. I didn't really talk to him. But Trevor, me and him would he had a PSP. And
Chuck Taylor dick in real life.
Maybe, I don't know. I never really talked to him. I was in a match with him, but I don't think we ever.
Is Chuck? Do you know if Chuck Taylor is a dick in real life? Because that's his bit. I don't know if you know that or not. Him and Trent Beretta are the best friends.
He seemed arrogant at the time, but I mean, it's wrestling, how arrogant is he? But he just kind of.
He just signed with AEW.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Oh, I hate his wrestling. It's it's like the joke
It's the
thing.
comedy spots.
And,
Is that why it bugs you?
Well, it's like I just don't like it. I mean, if other people like it, good for you.
Yeah.
You evidently did good, dude.
I was about to say,
Don't
how do
listen
you?
to me. I'm gonna give you bad career advice.
How does Nubby feel about Joey Ryan's dick?
We shouldn't touch dicks in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like
Would you take the dick flip?
No. You touch my
Not
dick,
even-
I'm gonna fucking.
Well, no, you would touch his dick.
No, not right.
He's gonna do the test of
I
strength.
eat with this hand. This is my
Yeah.
one hand.
He tests the strength with your hand and his dick,
No, I have one hand.
and then he flips you.
Yeah, I have one hand, so I'm not gonna touch a dick with it.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you get pink eye that way? Like, I'm not touching that.
Joey Ryan. I mean, he is pretty sleazy, man.
I mean,
You might
like,
get something.
if you did something and it got you over and it's making your money
Hey,
and
it
it's
is.
working out for you, nobody can tell you
I
what
was
you're
about
doing
to say
is
that
wrong.
guy's making money off his penis.
Is it smart?
How has
Short
the Me
term?
Too movement not hit him?
Oh, there's so many people that are like, Joey Ryan's the most chauvinistic piece of shit in the world. Like, but he's like, well, all the way to the bank, bitch. Like,
it gets
so.
like I think I heard he like works for like $200, something like that.
Yeah.
Average
Well, he's got it.
amount.
He's got his own. It's actually called bar wrestling, and it's
wow.
it's a little bar show that I think it's just Joey Ryan and all his pals.
And just touching dicks
Yeah,
and giving
yeah.
butthole spots.
Well, occasionally the young bucks show up and super kick some people, and
Like-
they have fun.
Well, it's niche wrestling is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like deathmatch people.
Yeah.
And here's my thing about
Jesus.
death matches. It's like if they'll just be creative And now with social media and the way you can kind of do everything, if you just stay creative and just say, look, this is deathmatch wrestling, not wrestling in any form. They just bailed and just left us.
I'm sorry, I got to exit the podcast for a minute.
They left us.
They left us. I'm in the middle of something deep, talking about deathmatch wrestling.
Tell it.
Yeah.
And, okay, if deathmatch wrestlers would just separate it from pro wrestling altogether.
Yeah.
And, like, they build their own ring with their own explosives and barbed wires and needles or whatever they want to do.
I mean, that's pretty much what ECW was.
But they're just like, this isn't wrestling. This is deathmatch fighting.
Yeah.
And separate wrestling.
Yeah.
Don't have local indie wrestlers who happens to be your friend do an indie match, and then afterwards y'all cut and bleed. And then I've seen some of the clips I see of deathmatch wrestling. It's kind of ludicrous. It's like, where I seen one where a bunch of people, they did it in Elkmont, like one of the Kevin Brennan hepatitis shows. You know, it's crazy. That dude's insane, man. He's gory. He's all about gore and death and murder.
Have my AIDS.
And he will spend his whole life fortune and his parents' inheritance from their furniture store on people blooding all over the place. It's insane. I like him personally. I mean, I think he might be a Nazi, I've heard, but I don't know. It's not my business. If you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi. I don't, shoot.
Yeah.
You didn't burn a cross in my yard,
I mean, I imagine the health shit that you have to go through to have
They
those
sign
kind of
waivers.
matches.
They sign waivers. These dudes do it for indie wrestling pay. Sometimes I heard people like, I get paid more. Well, you're probably lying to me.
Do
to
they not
justify
make
it.
them have proof they don't have any fucking diseases? Or
No. See, that's not the thing.
Not on
Fuck.
any wrestling, they don't, because
It's not regulated.
right, not regulated. Of course, some states do require you have a license like boxing,
Right.
so you have to do that. But I mean, it's a commission like anything else.
Right.
You get paid so much for it.
They do.
But far as for like what he and I did and Jared did, we don't really have that. Oh, you got to get blood tested for blah blah.
Right. We
whatever,
want to make sure you don't have hepatitis or
Yeah.
gonorrhea or wow.
I've never paid for a wrestling license in my
What
life.
the fuck did I?
I've wrestled in like six different states that made you have licenses, and always lied and got out of it.
Because you always said it was your first time or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, the first time they give you the warning, and they're like, all right, you need to call this guy tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Well, if the guy showed up, you had to pay him for the license. Well, I'll be like, I'll wrestle, and then the guy will come, and I was like, let me go get my wallet. It's in the truck. I'm in my tights. And I got my, okay, cool, then I'll just leave. I'm not paying for a wrestling license.
Hell no.
Why would you pay for
Yeah,
a
I was about
wrestling
to
license?
say, we were definitely before that time.
And athletic commission's not a real thing.
Yeah.
And in Mississippi,
Oh, what?
yeah, it's not a real thing. They don't do anything to help wrestling.
No.
And so, I mean,
No, all they do is hinder it, really.
athletic commissions were started by Roy Welch, a wrestling promoter, basically to build a monopoly to prevent other people from running wrestling.
Oh wow.
And then if anybody wanted to run boxing or any kind of other shows, they would have to go through him and the athletic commission. And so it's just his way of making more money, creating monopoly. Having an athletic commission now is just something for the government to make a few extra bucks off the $5, $10, whatever is it. How much is it for the Alabama license? Is it $50?
I have no idea.
It's $20. I never paid nothing. And I also used to make up names. I'm like, Bill Barron's from the NWA covered ours for working for Wildside or whatever. And I never even worked Wilds. I worked Anarchy, which is basically the same thing where some money mark bought it and did the exact same thing. That was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually really wrestle for him. I just took a few jobs. I wouldn't call myself. See, I never got to be a part of like those places. Like NGW was like what we did, but all the other places, I was just there for a few days, or But I wrestled in every single hole in the wall and like every piece of crap.
You have been around. Like,
But I learned, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
But it's
Well, I was
It
gonna
doesn't mean
say,
anything because
yeah.
like Jared and I would say early on in our careers, wherever you went, you always came back and taught us.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned from you. Either you showed us something, or when we were with you in the ring, we learned on the fly. We just learned.
It's like, that way we were doing that? Yeah, that's wrong.
yeah.
Some guy beat the hell out of me for doing this.
Yeah, I mean, Nubby would go out and learn the hard lessons for us.
I would go out and get the hell beat out of me.
And
by
then he'd
being
come
the new
back and be
guy.
like, hey, man, you should not fucking do that.
Yeah, that's all wrong, man. I remember when I first started going to Tennessee, and I'm like, I didn't know, is that how they wrestle? Am I being shot on? I don't know. But they were mean.
Yeah.
They were mean.
Now, was this Memphis?
No, the first times we started going to Tennessee was like lower Tennessee,
Okay.
like Pulaski and Columbia, and it was
Because you did do Memphis tapings, didn't you?
I did like TV once or twice. I'm just there to do the job, man. Who was it? The other he's part of the Geekdom world. Matt TMX. What was his name? TM. He's Matt.
Yeah, Taylor Marks.
Taylor Marks.
Yeah.
What a stupid name. he sent me a message the other day. He's like,
I hope he's listening.
yeah, I hope he is too. He was like, do you,
Yeah.
it was like the worst day of my life that day. He tagged with me. And it wasn't the match. The match was just us getting the hell beat out of each other by fucking Cowboys.
When is when they made y'all like the brother gimmicks or something?
Yeah, in Memphis, they really don't care about who you are.
Yeah.
It's just whatever product it's live.
Yeah.
So they're just worried about getting the product out that
Yeah,
day.
they just got to get it out there. I remember him telling me that it was very like, you got to be on point, you got to get your shit done.
Lawler would walk in there 2.5 hours after everybody else has been there, 5 minutes before the show starts, and they write it on a napkin.
Wow.
And my name was Alabama, because they knew me and him and Caleb Castle came from Alabama. Caleb Castle had a name because one of the dudes had a man crush on him. And like he would like let Caleb Castle. He had a man crush, not a gay man crush. He just thought Caleb Castle was a man. And then Caleb had a good year that year. Everybody was like,
he was a man, a man.
When he started, he was wearing like sweatpants and an Under Armour shirt. He looked like, I'm trying to think what he looked like. He kind of looked like somebody like he's coaching soccer, you know. And then he wasn't a bad wrestler. He just
Shout out to Caleb Castle.
yeah, he was green. And I've told him this before. I made fun of him when I first saw him. I was like, it looks like he bought the video game because he's like just doing the moves and stuff. He didn't know how to wrestle. And I don't know if he took that as an insult and he was like, I'm going to be a real wrestler, or it just clicked with him. And he's real smart about that kind of stuff. Skippy was too, where just the wrestling, the showbiz part clicked. We never could get the showbiz part. We're all about the technical part.
Yeah.
And they just
I got the showbiz part.
Yeah. Spade had both.
Spade had both.
Spade was the unique.
See, Spade did the same
exception.
thing. Spade was in sweatpants and a wife beater that
We
his
all,
sister drew with the
I
mark.
mean, yeah, I was about to say, we all started out in our yardie gear.
We were fucking broke, man.
Yeah, we didn't have gear. There was
I was
no
about to
gear.
say, yeah.
You had to blindly send money to somebody.
Yeah, I
and
did.
hope that you
I
get gear back.
I sent money to fucking Easy Money
Did you
for
really?
yes, but the fucking Hatchet Man Arrows to Chaos pants that I always rock.
Yeah.
That was Easy Money.
Oh wow, my first two tights were from Adrian Street.
Okay.
Calling Adrian Street is the best thing about ordering gear from Adrian Street. What? Land! Where's the bloody scissors? I don't know, Adrian! Adrian! They're in your lap! And then Adrian's like, God damn the bloody... And I'm like, can I get baggy shorts? He's like, what are you, a clown? I gotta go, man. I just couldn't handle it. Wow. And Adrian gear, it's either going to get knocked out of the park or just completely not what you wanted at all. Spade was one of the ones knocked out of the park. Because you went from the sweatpants and you were big Spade, but you came back in the tall white boots and and all you did to put the Spade on the boots was just, laminate a card?
I took a card and I blew it up. And all I did was take like shipping tape, clear shipping tape, put it over, took a razor blade, cut it out, got some double stick tape, put it on the boots.
And that shit lasted forever.
That's a good ass double stick tape, man.
Yeah.
But his wrestling
insane,
and everything about Big Spade changed. Where Big Spade, where you were a green guy in some jogging pants and a wife beater, now you came out, you were like...
I look professional.
You were a wrestler. You had the Spade on the butt, Spade on the front.
You know, I know people make the comparison and you don't really like it, but you were our rock, you know.
You were over black guy. You were over black guy.
I was the only black guy.
Yeah, and you were over as shit, you know, and it was easy. Me, I'd get over, I don't get over. I don't get over. Jared, it was like, Jared trying to work heel, they just weren't getting it. You know what I mean? I just don't think they got there was two other clowns who were baby faces. Yeah. And then here comes the Juggalo, who's basically a clown.
Well, see, I didn't come in as a clown though. I just came in.
You were Angry Yardie.
I was just angry metalhead guy.
No, you were Angry Yardie. Remember that was your angle.
Well, yeah.
Don't blame me. Blame Chris.
Yeah.
No, we.
Well, I mean, yeah.
We make fun. He didn't know how to work. He worked us into some dumbass shit.
Well, yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, do you remember
We
the,
had a backyard
the Yardie match?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
fine.
snap.
Hey, boo. Hey, I'm doing a podcast right now. They're laughing at me. Yeah, but I didn't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be a dick.
Oh, that is fantastic.
That was great.
Let me tell you.
Probably not. You gonna go to the gym? Okay. Don't get sunburned. All right. Love you.
We love you too. Bye.
She's cool.
Bye, boo.
She's cool.
Well, that feels like a good place to cut it because Nubby talks for 2.5 fucking hours. And but yeah, we'll pick it up with after the conversation with Boo Bear.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on behalf of Nubby and Big Spade, I am the DOJ,
And I'm the Machiavells.
and we will catch you next time.
Holla holla.